Welcome to Kickass Radio, hosted by Jo Sainsbury, founder of Kickass Women. Join Jo over the next hour as she shares stories and conversations that are both inspiring and empowering. Having spent over 30 years in the corporate sector, Jo Sainsbury kicked off her heels and became a coal train driver working in the rail and mining industry. It has been her goal ever since to empower and support women who are considering a career change into an industry role, making the transition as smooth as possible. Jo is a walking, talking success story of how taking the plunge into industry can open up a world of opportunity. And you can do it too. If you're a woman working in industry or considering a career change, this is the radio station for you. Let's get into this episode of Kickass Radio.
Good morning or good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Kickass Radio Show. Hope you've had an awesome week and winding down once again to the weekend. The weeks are just rolling by. 'Tis the season to be merry, or as best we can. It's December. Where has the year gone? As much as it does not want to be remembered by many, as we said last week. However, seeing as it's Christmas, over the coming month, I'm going to talk about a number of general things to help us all get through the silly season and sanely and intact and come out in the new year in 2021 with an abundance of inspiration and to reignite your motivation to grow and learn and develop over the next year. Now, Christmas should be a time of family togetherness and happiness. It doesn't just happen though. You have to make the Christmas period and your holidays cheerful and bright. Luckily, there are lots of ways to reduce stress during this holiday season by following some simple strategies and tips. You need to take action to make this your best year yet that's coming ahead. And so how are you going to celebrate this Christmas, particularly after the year we've had? You are listening to the Kickass Radio Show Kickstart, where we talk about all things women working in non-traditional roles in varied male-dominated industries, and I tell you how it is. Today, it's episode 18, and we're into the second week of December and the merriest time of the year, Christmas, as I've said. I'm your host, Jo Sainsbury, the Glo-getter. My background is I'm no stranger to wearing high-vis workwear, getting down and dirty in the grease and the coal dust, and my passion and purpose is to reinforce confidence, support and encourage more women to kick off their heels and tap into their steel caps, and to consider pursuing these non-traditional roles and careers as I share my knowledge, my career experiences, and industry know-how and the understanding of them. So here we are on the radio show. Now, I hope we can keep you all in good company over the coming hour, and I would like to put a shout out to one of my major sponsors of today's show, and it's brought to you by Kickass Women, of course. So that's a huge shout out to all the women working out on site and on track today. May you stay safe and all go home well and safe and have an excellent day or night. Okay, this might also be a good time to mention that the radio show does and may contain some adult language. Let's get into it. Okay, so as we said last week, it's a time of high stress for a lot of people. And just like that, Christmas is upon us. The end of the year is a wonderful chance for reflection and contemplation. It's also an opportunity to consider our hopes and dreams for the new year, 2021. We're all saying, bring it on. Here in Australia, the weather is warm. You might notice I haven't got a sweat up today. The tropical fruits are in abundance, the beaches are full, and long days are spent with family and friends. For so many of us, Christmas truly is the most wonderful time of the year. Christmas is a time of joy and happiness and celebration. Family and, well, let's face it, food. However, it has also become a time of stress, worry, sadness, and for some conflict. So let's get clear. It's not about time management or money management, but rather energy management. Where are you placing your energy? What thoughts, behaviours, choices and situations are you focusing and prioritising your attention and energy on? Time, stress and unhappiness. We all feel the pressure of time. As a woman or a man in this day and age, Our role is not simply one of maintaining a home or working and earning money. Rather, we maintain a home and have a career, manage our businesses and staff, and work in and on our businesses, all whilst trying to balance this with spending time with our families and maintaining relationships with our partners and our children and our friends. Add keeping fit and healthy on top of that, and often the result is in a feeling of overwhelm and burnout. And to that now, buying Christmas presents, having children home and having to manage holiday or vacation care, organising the family gatherings, food, holidays, and the like. Your relationship with your partner and children may have become strained and fraught with arguments over the past couple of months. You may be intolerant of each other's behaviours and feel that you are falling in or failing in areas of your life. When you are trying to please everyone else, you lose touch with who you are. Your behaviours change, your thought patterns change, you change, and not for the better. That is a general sense of overwhelm, frustration, and unhappiness, a sense of disconnection and dissatisfaction with life. You need to slow down and look after you. It is super important, therefore, to invest in yourself and learn how to retrain your mind and body to relax so as to better cope with the challenges of life that brings to you. More and more, research is proving the power of mindfulness and the neurological benefits of implementing mindful practices on a daily basis, rather than the overactive stress response your body is currently living with. You can learn about relaxation response. This means you need to slow down. Yes, you heard me. Do you know that we are more clear and productive when we take time out and nurture ourselves? Hard to do when we're on the go constantly. However, if we do not do this, if we do not honour and nurture ourselves and our bodies, no matter who we are, we will struggle to feel true joy and happiness. We will not be able to experience our moments in a space of presence, nor calmness, authenticity, and true wholeness. You need to have your circle of control. Now, the circle of control is the idea that we can and should look at what is happening to us in our lives in terms of what is within or outside of our own control. Unfortunately, when we feel overwhelmed and out of control, it is because we usually are. We are often focused on changing or fixing things that are not within our control. We get upset, worked up, and often overwhelmed by all these things. The cause of our unhappiness is said to be as a result of our reaction to something. When we learn to focus our energies within, through looking at the choices we make, the behaviours we undertake, and also the decisions we make, the sense of feeling overwhelmed and out of control suddenly turns into one of control again. So in addition to this, if you are focusing on what is in your control, that's you, focus too on what you do for you. Is your cup full, empty, or half full? How are you feeling? Fatigued, disconnected, stressed, unfulfilled, irritable, or unmotivated, or happy, loving, energetic, fulfilled, compassionate? Where are you? Where would you like to be? When you feel nurtured and nourished, you will grow to be more consciously connected with your truth, your life, and your purpose, and therefore you will be happier, more grounded and motivated, thereby achieving more. You will be a better person for yourself, your partner, your children, your family, your friends, your life, and Christmas. You need to be balanced and happy. The only thing you can control and depend on is you. So the only way you can win this battle of busyness, stress, panic, relationship issues, and social concerns, life, is to fight from within you. The most important relationship we will ever have is the relationship we have with ourselves. It sets the tone for every other relationship you have. Once you are connecting to and nurturing yourself, the next step is balance. Life is all about balance and managing our priorities, and we know when things are tipped one way or the other. We cannot focus on all of our priorities every day. So in the spirit of lopsided balance, we sometimes have to prioritise something in one moment knowing you will focus on the others at another time in the day or even the next day. So the idea here is that it's not about forgetting or ignoring something, but rather knowing it will get done at another time and not panicking that it hasn't happened right now. So if you want to experience a more calm, loving, fun-filled Christmas season, manage your energy. Slow down. Focus only on what it is in your control and be sure to nurture yourself regularly. Unfortunately, it is a challenging time of year under the best of circumstances. If you are in an abusive relationship, I encourage you to anticipate the potential issues and do your best to mitigate them in advance. If nothing else, be sure to find the support you need to endure the situation. And for so many others, Christmas is a very difficult time also. If emotions and traumas are going to be triggered, it is often at key times like Christmas that they will happen. And it is for this reason that having a strong network of support and connection is so vital and critical and important. Throughout this month's shows, I wanted to run through a few key issues that may crop up and how we can address them in a way which best serves us. Okay, let's start off with holiday eating and guilt. Christmas is a time of feasting. Baked hams, roasts, cheese and crackers, trifle, pavlova, cakes, ice cream, cookies, alcohol. There is so much food going around and it is all there for your enjoyment and pleasure. But if we enter the Christmas season with a strained relationship with food, it can be a really difficult time. The media is overflowing with tips on how to stay on track during the holidays over Christmas period. Gyms are gearing up for their how to get your body back after Christmas. Let's do a challenge campaigns. And there are subtle or not so subtle reminders everywhere about the importance of looking after yourself during this time. All of these tactics are not with your best interests in mind. You must remember that. Even those who claim to be watching out for your health are not looking out for you. They're looking out for wellness culture, diet culture, and the diet industry. Christmas food and eating is the epitome of what food is all about. It is about connection, love, comfort, companionship, intimacy, joy, pleasure, fun, and relaxation. There is no guilt in experiencing any, or if not all, of these things. In fact, if it is a terrible shame when we feel that we can't or shouldn't be allowed to experience these things, let food be your friend this Christmas. Enjoy your food mindfully. Thank it for the pleasure and nourishment it brings. And remember that food nourishes not just the body, but also the soul. Food consumed in a state of relaxation is food which can truly be metabolized. It is this food which our bodies can use to sate us, feed our cells, fuel our brain, and make us happy. So eat the food, drink the wine, enjoy it all, and don't feel guilty for giving your body what it wants and needs. There is no need to make up for eating food ever. There is no need to feel guilty for overindulging because there is no such thing. We choose to eat and drink what our body asks for at any given time. So trust your body, trust your intuition, and let your body do the rest. It's more than capable. And keep that in your mind as well. So let's look at good versus bad foods then. Closely related to our previous topic is the notion that Christmas is full of bad foods. Crap, nonsense, bullshit. Christmas is full of nourishing foods, foods that uplift us and feed our soul. There is no such thing as good or bad foods. All foods fit. This is even true at Christmas time. All the diet experts and nutritionists are rolling their eyes. When we eat mindfully, intuitively, we soon come to recognise that those foods which make us feel good and those which don't so much. But this is very different to having a list of foods on a blacklist simply because someone out there has told us that grains are evil or sugar is the devil. If you know there are certain foods which don't serve you so well, then of course your body will tell you and if and when they should be avoided. And you need to listen to that. That's your intuition. But unless you have an allergy to a certain food or a serious medical condition requiring some foods be avoided, There's no need to panic over overeating or any particular foods. Eat what your heart desires and move on. Our body is our best teacher, and it will soon let us know if something wasn't such a good idea. And you'll learn sooner rather than later. We'll learn for the next time. Or we weigh up the benefits and decide to eat it anyway. What the hell? In the same way, the more that we allow ourselves to eat without restriction during the year, the less likely we will be to binge during the holiday times. If trifle is just trifle because it's not a special treat reserved for once a year, then when Christmas Day rolls around, we are much less likely to eat 5 bowls of it or the whole bowl. It is so much easier to listen to our body cues when we aren't coming from a place of deprivation and, in some cases, starvation. So we'll roll on to the beach bodies, our summer bodies that are so prolifically advertised. Ugh, the dreaded bikini reach. I can't express how much I detest the term. My biggest tip here is to do a social media cleanse. Unfollow. Get rid of all the Fitspo, Inspo, Mumspo, whatever accounts that you follow which make you feel inadequate. Buy swimsuits online if you can't stand the fluoro lights and the small sizing in the shops. Follow body positive, fat acceptance, body liberation activists. Don't become a victim to the patriarchal, patronising over-sexualisation of the human body, and in particular, the female body. Be proud of your shape, your curves and achievements. Remember what your amazing body does for you every single day. Remind yourself that your body is not for everybody's viewing pleasure, but instead it is an incredible vessel which carries you through life and houses you. It is not easy to switch to a positive body image. It takes time and work all year round. But don't get disheartened by feeling that you need to love your body. That's not what body positivity is about. It's about acceptance and appreciation for our bodies and an acknowledgement of the fact that it is diet culture, weight stigma, and fat phobia which fuels the thin ideal. Surround yourself with body positive people. Get your hands on a great book by Linda Bacon, Health at Every Size and Body Respect. Don't listen to poorly constructed, fat-phobic research which tells you that your body is unhealthy based on its size. Enjoy the beach. You are worthy of wearing your favourite bikini. Your existence on this earth and on a beach is just as valid as someone who looks like a swimsuit model. And always remember that. For the majority of people, or I should say minority of people who have that perfect bikini body, they are engulfed in a world of food restriction, health obsession, excessive exercise, and stress over how to maintain that body. Live your true life. Embrace what life is really about. And wear the bikini now. We only have one life. Let's look at family time. Being around family over the Christmas season isn't pleasurable for everyone. For some of us, it is a beautiful time of connection, reconnection and bonding, and particularly this year. But for others, it is a time of stress, anxiety and obligation. It can be the time of year when old feelings of rejection and lack of worth resurface, or when you feel like you are back in high school being treated like a child. If this is how you feel about holiday times with family, then it is an opportunity to practice self-care, self-compassion and mindfulness. Taking a moment to breathe, acknowledge how difficult a situation is for you and become curious about why it is difficult is much more powerful and healing than trying to convince yourself that your feelings are unfounded overreactions. To feel is to heal. So let yourself feel whatever emotions come up for you. They are all valid and they are all okay to experience. Engage in self-care practices before and during family time as much as possible. Do things which lift you up and make you feel calm. Burn those beautiful scented candles. Have fresh flowers in the house. Wear your favourite clothes. Start the day with a short meditation, and we've talked about that over the past, so many months. Whatever it takes to help you get through the day. If you have a family that is particularly critical about your weight and appearance, and who you feel you're judged by, then arm yourself with the tips we've just previously said and talked about. Decide in advance how you want to approach your diet and weight talk with them. Will you engage in the conversation and share your knowledge or your views? Or will you change the subject and remind them that there is so much more to talk about than your weight? Or will you find it easiest to just excuse yourself and leave the room? Plan your strategy and know that the power is always yours. Then we'll also need to consider lost loved ones. Christmas is also a very difficult time for those who have lost loved ones due to death, tragedy, divorce, separation, and so on. The first Christmas without a loved one can be especially emotional and triggering. So again, pull out your self-compassion and self-care toolkits at this time. This is also a really important time to see your therapist if you have one, or engage the services of a therapist or a counsellor or a mentor who can help you through this difficult time. You don't have to do this alone. Find your tribe of people you can be honest with and talk to. Journal about your thoughts and feelings, and we know how I feel about journaling. Grieve in whatever way feels natural for you, remembering that everyone processes loss in very different ways. If you want to use food as comfort, then do so without guilt and self-judgment. Be kind and gentle with yourself always, but especially now. Okay, let's go off and listen to a tune, and we'll be back soon. Okay, so I think that was very fitting. Surviving Christmas. Wait, that's a little negative. Let's call this thing thriving and delighting in the festive season. Well, we're halfway through December and suddenly it's dawned on us that Christmas is just around the corner. School kids and teachers, they're tired and cranky or they've just finished. Work deadlines are more difficult and it's becoming so much harder to be industrious because we know the holidays are nearly here. For those that have been avoiding the shopping centres and commercial media, it can cause one to panic just a little bit. Christmas is portrayed as a happy holiday, but the reality for many is just the opposite. Instead of joy, there are stress, debt, and guilt. Unfortunately, for most families, Christmas is the most stressful period of the year. Endless interactions with friends and relatives, last-minute shopping, great expenditures, and the pressure of holiday preparations undermine the delight and the fabulous atmosphere of the holiday. If this sounds like your usual holiday season, you can take some steps to ensure that this Christmas will be one of the happiest. So here's a few pointers to help you not only survive Christmas, but actually thrive and enjoy the holiday season. Start today. If the stress of last-minute shopping is what keeps you from being happy during the holidays, start making purchases right now, and they may work better. Try to do your shopping throughout the year so that you don't have to brave the stores when the crowds are unbelievably just awful. If you plan it right, you won't even have to brave Christmas traffic. Apart from shopping, your to-do list should also include gifts, food, decoration ideas, and expenses, and even a seating plan. When making a guest list, keep their email addresses and phone numbers handy so that you can easily contact them before Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Let's focus on activities, not gifts. Enjoy the Christmas spirit with your family instead of worrying about material things. While gifts can be nice, the real memories, I'm just adjusting my screen here. The real memories are what that counts. And the next is Christmas light decorations. Go for a drive with your family around the town and look at all the beautiful Christmas light decorations. Take the time to spend with family. Spend some time surfing the internet and you'll find hundreds of great ideas to get your children involved over the festive activity season. And everything that is done together, from making Christmas crafts or playing games and puzzles and going on those Christmas light drives, is always appreciated. then the next is skip some of the parties. You don't have to go to all of them. You don't have to attend every single one. Pick a couple that you can't miss, and you shouldn't have to pack your schedule with more than you can really do comfortably. And this way you'll have more time to spend with your friends and your family and eliminate excess stress. However, if you're hosting a big, neighbourhood party or a big party, and gather everyone together and share the Christmas cheer. Then we'll share our blessings, paying it forward. Nothing brings someone with no family over for dinner or take a food hamper to a needy family, or, you'll find that you get much more from that than they actually do. And by sharing with those in need, you show a great example of how examples show. Then declutter your home, and I bet you'll find a lot of new and yet unnecessary things like unworn clothes, toys, accessories. While you don't need these items, someone may need them. It will make you happy to help others. So go ahead and start sharing. Budget carefully and stick to it. Spending too much over the holidays can cause even more stress. It also results in guilt after the holiday is over, when you realise you probably didn't need to spend so much. In short, a budget can help you save money and feel better about it. While planning your budget, you should also spend a great deal of money on things that just burn up your money. And then there's also unplanned purchases and the extras. So this will enable you to compute your Christmas budget more realistically and avoid the splurging. Define the limit that you can spend on each category, and always keep your eyes open for ongoing expenditure. If your expenditures seem to exceed the list, play more games. Playing games is not for kids only. Fun Christmas games are the perfect icebreaker to help your guests come in contact with each other and feel comfortable. Get in the mood. Board games used to be a staple of holiday gatherings, and it's still a lot of fun to break out the old Monopoly board when you have friends pop by. And Christmas parties can be a good opportunity to try something new if you haven't for a while, like Jenga, Cards of Humanity, even though they've been out for a little while now. And what about a good old card game? Nothing beats a good old competitive card game. Not only playing games is an enjoyable way to spend an evening, it's also budget friendly. How about we skip the gifts? When it comes to gift giving, it can be challenging to pick the right thing for each person, not to mention expensive. Instead of trying to make everyone happy, why not suggest that your family skip the gift giving for the adults this year? Only buy the gifts for the kids. If desired, the money could be put towards a charity, or you could just completely eliminate the whole tradition of gift giving to adults, which some families I do know are doing that nowadays, and they find it much easier. The children will still receive gifts, of course, and you make that atmosphere happy for them. Doing a Santa is also, Secret Santa is a great way to save money on Christmas and set the limit. And so prepare the box filled up with the names of your guests and all your family, and let them buy a present only for the person whose name they draw out. So that's, a major cost saving there. Or make it handmade. If you can't bring yourself to completely eliminate the gifts, you might want to try making each gift more meaningful. Presents that have been created by your own hands are extra special and will be much more appreciated. You don't have to be very skillful or seasoned to make a nice greeting card or a small tough stuffed toy or a bracelet or something minor. The internet is full of simple and amazing ideas and tutorials, even for beginners. Stock up on the DIY supplies and rejoice your friends and family with unique handmade gifts. Next is take time to relax. It's easy to find yourself running all over the place during the holidays, but relaxation is the key to happiness during the holiday season. Even on Christmas Eve, when most mums and wives are busy with meal preparation, gifts, and the last lot of preparations, you should carve out some time to sit back and indulge yourself. Take time to sit back, a glass of wine, and enjoy life a little. You'll be back to work soon enough, so make the most of your time off. If you need some extra hands, don't hesitate to invite your family or friends over to help you with cooking and serving, and use this time to take fragrant baths and dress up. Christmas hustle and bustle is great, but from time to time you should slow down and enjoy the present moment. And then teach your children to enjoy Christmas without all the money. You may feel that Christmas is better with fewer presents and more fun, but what about the kids? Teach them from a young age to appreciate the season, and they will be more than happy to celebrate with activities instead of mountains of gifts. Incorporating several unique family traditions into your celebration will make the holiday utterly breathtaking for your kids. Even simple activities like festive cooking, do the gingerbread man, the rum balls, or all the truffles, and decorating your home and the Christmas tree can become so precious family traditions. And this way you'll teach your children that family time and memories are something most valuable forever. Then there's the unexpected Christmas mistakes that you may make. Those moments throughout the most wonderful time of the year that we're talking about that don't seem so wonderful at all. The tree has been flipped over by the cat or the dog. All the Christmas baubles are smashed. The Christmas lights you wanted to hang up, they're not working. And your in-laws have announced they are coming for Christmas. And your gingerbread men, they taste like sawdust. So now Santa will probably be ignoring your chimney for the one next door. Okay, mildly exaggerated there. But there are some big mistakes people make during Christmas that can be avoided. So there's the biggest shopping and gifting mistakes. Remember when Christmas was about generosity and family? Yeah, I know, it's a challenge to think that far back. And that is by far the saddest mistake everyone seems to make over the holidays. Do not buy gifts just because. Do not pick up the soap set or the pair of socks or the packet of jocks just because they could be a good gift for someone. How thoughtless is that? Instead, give gifts people actually remember or something that they can use. These kinds of gifts do not have to be big or expensive. Do not give your kid their entire wish list. Put down that sparkly new video game system and back away. Stop giving your children material belongings that they will outgrow in a matter of months. Start fostering in the true meaning of the holidays. Don't forget about the beauty of handmade gifts, like we said before. And when playing Santa and the parents simultaneously with the little ones, do not use the same wrapping paper for the gifts, not unless you want to be appalled by the deductive reasoning skills your kids already have, and they are very cluey. The most useful tip I can offer is manage your expectations. We have all been exposed to the media fantasies of what constitutes Christmas. Happy and well-behaved families, tables groaning with food, perfect decorations, and the perfect, beautifully wrapped gifts. We are under pressure to recreate this fantasy, and which causes other problems like overspending. This causes huge stress for families and for many families. And in the bid to provide the perfect Christmas, budgets are thrown out the window and the credit cards are maxed out. Like we said earlier, get your budget in hand. Ideally, you aspire to have a Christmas fund in place, but if you've paid for last Christmas using credit cards, then the focus all year has been paying off that debt and not saving for this Christmas. So the cycle just goes on and on. It's no fun being on a budget at Christmas, but it's the season of giving after all, and you need to stick to those budgets. Well, why not mentally reframe the concept and give yourself the gift of not overspending? Find other ways to show the Christmas spirit. So decorate using plants, flowers, your natives. Use a system of the Secret Santa, like we said. Make gifts yourself. Offer services such as messaging, lawn mowing, house cleaning. Eat at home instead of eating out. Make Christmas dinner a bring your plate affair, which is a great idea. Get everyone to bring a plate along. Great for sharing, share plates. And be on the lookout for food specials leading up, in the weeks leading up to Christmas, and stock up and hide it from the family so they don't eat it before Christmas. And this is my biggest advice. Avoid too many trips to the shops. Personally, I find I get caught up in it all the time, thinking I don't have enough, I haven't bought enough, I haven't spent enough to have a real Christmas. Resolve to start a Christmas fund next year, which will be more achievable if you haven't maxed out the credit cards this year. And another area to manage is expectations in our relationships. If we have family members that don't get on or get drunk or whatever, try to plan events so that these risks are minimised. Limit yours and their exposure to the things. People that will inflame the situation. Don't buy the fantasy that suddenly everyone is going to be well behaved. Be realistic, be prepared, and above all, be kind to yourself. Take care of your well-being. That is, get sleep, don't overextend yourself, don't drink and or eat too much. As we said, eat to your body's signs and symptoms. And don't expect too much from yourself and others. Let go of the expectations to provide a perfect Christmas. Decide what's important to you during this festive season and celebrate the way you want to, not the way you feel you should do. Okay, let me take a breath. We'll listen to an ad and we'll come back very shortly.
Hey Glo-getters, have you heard about Kickass Women? Founded by Jo Sainsbury, Kickass Women is dedicated to empowering and supporting women who are considering a career change into an industry role. Visit our brand new website at www.kickasswomen.com.au or follow Kickass Women on Facebook and LinkedIn today to keep up to date with all things Kickass Women and the incredible opportunities and content we have for you. See you there, Glo-getters.
Hi Glo-getters, we're Brenjo's Earth Moving, a professional earth moving business specialising in a range of infrastructure works across a variety of industries, located in Mackay, Queensland. Here at Brenjo's, we're a family-owned company backed by an incredible team. We've seen firsthand the incredible benefits that come from promoting and supporting a diverse workplace. We're so proud to be sponsoring Kickass Radio and Kickass Women's Mission to support women entering into non-traditional roles and careers.
Hey Glo-getters, did you know that Jo Sainsbury is a published author for her book High Heels to High Vis and has been named an Amazon #1 bestseller? Telling the story about Jo's transition from the corporate sector into industry, High Heels to High Vis acts as a guide for women who are considering a non-traditional role and career. High Heels to High Vis is available for purchase online at all leading bookstores, including Amazon, Dimex, Waterstones and eBay.
Okay, so we're back to our Kickass Women Making Waves segment. And this is to the women who break the glass ceiling and pave the way for others after them. Okay, Kickass Women Making Waves segment this week is, I've come across a newly released book and documentary this week in Australia, and it was fitting for this segment. So if you're not familiar with this segment yet, I thought it was about time to introduce a segment to recognise extraordinary achievements and contributions women have made and continue to make in our unbalanced world. Now, we live in an exciting period of history, the groundswell for change to a more gender-balanced world. It's growing, and with people speaking up and demanding equal opportunity for all women in all walks of life. So, women are making their own noise about equality and achievements in all sectors of industry in a world that often serves up extra hurdles for females. And these women are trailblazers who, through courage and perseverance, challenge the status quo, defying societal norms with the love of their work and improving the quality of life for many. They are mothers, daughters, sisters. They are worthy to be honoured. So each week, I've been spotlighting one or a group of these extraordinary women who are making a difference and that are inspiring role models to so many of us. So this week, our Kickass Women Making Waves spotlight is on Women of Steel. This is the inspiring story of a landmark struggle in Australia's industrial and political history. This is actually a book and a film that has just been released here in Australia in the last week, and it's an inspiring for women in what became known as the Jobs for Women campaign. Now, the campaign group was made up mainly of women from migrant backgrounds whose first language was not English, as well as some Australian-born experienced political activists. Now, it was a David and Goliath struggle against the biggest Australian company at the time, Broken Hill Proprietary, BHP. It began in 1980, and in 1989, after 9 years of hard struggle, these women won a sex discrimination case against Australian Iron and Steel, AEST, a subsidiary of BHP at the time, at Port Kembla Steelworks in Wollongong, New South Wales. Now, their victory led first to women being able to access jobs at the steelworks, and later, after a series of legal battles, to a payout of $1.4 million to the women in compensation. Okay, so we're back to our Kick-Ass Women Making Waves segment. And this is to the women who break the glass ceiling and pave the way for others after them. Okay, Kick-Ass Women Making Waves segment this week is, I've come across a newly released book and documentary this week in Australia, and it was fitting for this segment. So if you're not familiar with this segment yet, I thought it was about time to introduce a segment to recognise extraordinary achievements and contributions women have made and continue to make in our unbalanced world. Now, we live in an exciting period of history, the groundswell for change to a more gender-balanced world. It's growing, and with people speaking up and demanding equal opportunity for all women in all walks of life. So, women are making their own noise about equality and achievements in all sectors of industry in a world that often serves up extra hurdles for females. And these women are trailblazers who, through courage and perseverance, challenge the status quo, defying societal norms with the love of their work and improving the quality of life for many. They are mothers, daughters, sisters. They are worthy to be honoured. So each week, I've been spotlighting one or a group of these extraordinary women who are making a difference and that are inspiring role models to so many of us. So this week, our Kick-Ass Women Making Waves spotlight is on Women of Steel. This is the inspiring story of a landmark struggle in Australia's industrial and political history. This is actually a book and a film that has just been released here in Australia in the last week, and it's an inspiring for women in what became known as the Jobs for Women campaign. Now, the campaign group was made up mainly of women from migrant backgrounds whose first language was not English, as well as some Australian-born experienced political activists. Now, it was a David and Goliath struggle against the biggest Australian company at the time, Broken Hill Proprietary, BHP. It began in 1980, and in 1989, after 9 years of hard struggle, these women won a sex discrimination case against Australian Iron and Steel, AEST, a subsidiary of BHP at the time, at Port Kembla Steelworks in Wollongong, New South Wales. Now, their victory led first to women being able to access jobs at the steelworks, and later, after a series of legal battles, to a payout of $1.4 million to the women in compensation for direct and indirect discrimination. By 1994, a further 709 women who had experienced similar employment discrimination at the hands of BHP received smaller compensation amounts, taking the total estimated costs to BHP to $4 to $9 million. The words of these women are inspiration, and the book is full of lessons for all those campaigning for women's rights and against corporate greed today. So congratulations to all these women in these extraordinary groups, and every one of you are one hell of a kick-ass woman who made phenomenal and historical waves in the industry. So the shout out to Kick-Ass Women Making Waves series is all about recognising that our success and where we are in life is at least somewhat thanks to the efforts and support mentorship, love and encouragement of others. So if there's someone that you want to dedicate a shout out to, let me know. Nominate someone. Kick-Ass Women Making Waves is built on recommendations and shout outs from industries, colleagues. It's how we uncover hidden gems. So if you or someone you know deserves recognition, please let me know. Email me at Jody, Jody, at kickasswomen.com.au. Okay, so let's get on to our take 5. We're going to learn some interesting little tips on a situation that often occurs here at Christmas time. And that's 5 tips, my take 5 tips for women surviving Christmas with the in-laws. So kick off your heels. 'Tis the season to be jolly and to be thrown together with your partner's family like it's the most natural thing in the world to be done. I must say, I have a beautiful family, in-laws. Can we be real for a minute? Family gatherings with the in-laws are a bit awkward. If you are a guest in their home, you can never completely relax. Lying on the lounge in your PJs in someone else's house just isn't the right thing. And if the in-laws are a guest in your home, then the onus is on you to be the perfect host with an impossibly clean house and a bottomless pit for a refrigerator. Anyone else feeling tense yet? Just thinking about it? Okay, let's talk about handling these situations like the modern women we are. I have a few tips and reality checks to get you feeling ready and capable. Number 1, give up trying to be perfect. Whether you are a guest in their house or they are guests in your house, just remember this. They are probably feeling just the same as you. We can all find the togetherness a little overwhelming at times, and we all feel the same pressures to present a perfect image, when in fact, nobody is perfect. We are all just doing the best we can. Number 2, share the load. If you are the host, why not accept the offers of help in the kitchen from the family members? The chances are they are keen to make, themselves useful and put them to work. You could use a hand. You do not have 8 arms. If you spread the workload a little, it is better for everyone. Your in-laws will not feel awkward and you will not be under so much pressure to perform. And if you are the guest in your in-laws' house, it works both ways. You do not have to make a big speech out of, offering to help. Just join your host in the kitchen and keep them company. Maybe pick up a dishcloth and start washing up, or wiping the plates, tidying up after they've been preparing food. And number 3 is divert the attention. If you do not see your in-laws very often, then getting together with them can feel a little like an interrogation, whether genuine curiosity about their son or daughter's partner or a lack of conversation topics, you are bound to be the focus of the conversation for at least part of the day, or your kids. And you might be okay with this, but the more introverted among us are not. So why not go in there prepared with a few topics of conversation to take the attention away from you? Ask them about themselves, or step outside the box and throw in a philosophical head scratcher for them. That should keep them busy for a while. And then number 4, take a good book. I know this sounds simplistic, but bear with me. The simplest answers are often the best ones, and something as simple as a good book or 2 might easily be overlooked. You are going to want a little escapism, trust me. And you might also need some entertainment or a distraction. Every family has their own traditions and routines. When I was growing up, it was all about the Christmas Day afternoon cricket match. And number 5 is grab a little downtime. Are there kids in the house? Whether you are a mother yourself or the least maternal career-focused woman around, kids are great company. They are non-judgmental, focused on having fun, and absolutely guaranteed not to talk about politics or ask you about your career for the 100th time. Go and have a game of hide and seek with the little ones. You know, you will get a welcome break from being on your best behaviour with your partners, parents, and you will also earn some points for helping out to keep the kids busy. Is there a dog you could take for a walk? Even better. You know, a dog gives you an excuse to get out of the house, and he will definitely not ask you about politics or your career. In summary, it is really about balance. Show up, participate, and you will get the most out of the experience. Just remember not to stress out, trying to be perfect, and grab a little downtime whenever you can. Okay, lastly, here is your safety affirmation. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. Okay, so we're wrapping it up for today. That's it, guys. I do hope you found the information helpful and valuable, and it gives you something to action over the weekend and for the coming weeks ahead. But a final note, Christmas as a kid was magical, but nothing tops Christmas as a mum. As a kid, Christmas morning was full of magic and is full of magic. The tiptoeing to sneakily scope out the presents under the tree before leaping onto mum and dad's bed to let them know Santa had come. The lolly trail mum had laid out from our bedroom doors, leading to the Christmas tree, which was loaded to the hilt, and Santa sacks teeming with goodies sitting underneath the Christmas tree. Then there was the sloppily written notes from Santa, the half-eaten biscuits or rum balls, an empty glass of milk, and the empty beer. Carrots tossed out for the reindeer that had mysteriously disappeared from the front yard by the morning. Every last bit of it was pure magic, and I was absolutely certain that there was no way it could ever get better. But nothing could top the Christmases of my childhood, I thought. Once I became a bit older and Christmas lost a tiny bit of its magic, I figured it was over. The magic of Christmas morning was undeniably reserved for younger kids. My days of childlike awe and wonder disappearing like those crunchy carrots the reindeer had munched on during their Christmas Eve visit. So then it happened. 1 year without warning, the magic returned. It wasn't like before though. It was better, so much better, because that magic was no longer simply mine. It was my children's. That's when I became a mum. I would see it in their eyes, that same childlike awe and wonder I once had. It's the way they would stand before our towering Christmas tree, mouths open wide. It's the way they would shout Christmas lights when we were driving in the car. As you know, we drove past the many homes with their brilliant displays. It's the way they would giggle at the same Christmas movies I used to watch as a kid. It's the way they belt out Christmas songs with their sweet little voice.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Kickass Radio, where we kick goals and deliver empowering conversations for women. Want to hear more from Kickass Women and Jo Sainsbury? Visit the Kickass Women website or follow Kickass Women on Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram. See you on the next episode of Kickass Radio.
This wondrous season. And Christmas through their eyes, it's infinitely greater than the Christmases of my childhood. Because Christmas as a kid was magical, truly, utterly magical. But Christmas as a mum, there's nothing better. Even now talking about this has got me right in the boy mum feels. My boys are now grown men who are 29 and 24, and I am seriously chock full of those boy mum feels, let me tell you. And I even have it on good authority that somehow, some way, it's even better as a grandparent. I've yet to find that out. Okay, now there are so many other challenges which might pop up at Christmas time, but I hope this gives you some support and guidance, what we've talked about today. Regardless of the challenges we face, when we stop and listen to our inner voice, we will often find the way. Be kind, compassionate and gentle, and enjoy the holiday season wherever and however best you can. As always, I really appreciate you guys giving me your time to listen to the radio show. You can find more information on this episode in the show notes or on my social media pages, either on Facebook, LinkedIn or Instagram. Be sure to tune in again next week where we'll continue our silly season, surviving and delighting in it, and all things Christmassy. Reach out to me and follow me on my Kickass Women or Jo Sainsbury social media pages if you haven't already. And I would really love to hear from you guys. So show some love for the Kickass Radio Show and leave me a review on the BBS Radio network at bbsradio.com/Kickass Radio. Once again, you can send me an email. My email is jody, Jody, @kickasswomen.com.au, or find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Kickasswomen Australia, and be sure to stay tuned in for the future episodes. Well, that's all for today's show. Thanks again for your company and for listening to Kickass Radio. It's not goodbye, but see you later. Stay safe and well. Go crush it. Keep in touch. Poscoms. Go on, get your glow on. Become a glow-getter.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Kickass Radio, where we kick goals and deliver empowering conversations for women. Want to hear more from Kickass Women and Jo Sainsbury? Visit the Kickass Women website or follow Kickass Women on Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram. See you on the next episode of Kickass Radio.